How's it going, YouTube? Adrian back with you for another video. So we're in the basement of a house I did 3 houses ago, and basically I was just looking for a wet day to come here and do some extra stuff, but that day never came, and I really didn't want the electricians and the plumbers and the HVAC guys to go through before I had a chance to go back. So part of today was just me doing that. So let's just take a look around. Basically, I'll tell you what I did, what I still have to do, and what I kind of look for when I'm doing my little checklist. So obviously you can see I still got a steel post to go in here. It's fixed post, it's been ordered. It's all cut out, ready to go. Just gotta put it in. And surprisingly, that's the only post in this beam, which is kind of nice. This house is only about, I think about 2,400 square feet. So you don't really want to close it in that much. So they've done a good job of kind of keeping it open. So basically what I look for when I'm going through a house to do my checklist, in my head I'm thinking point loads. So I look up, I've drilled them all, and some of them, when I'm drilling, I know that I've got them when I do the floor. I always know there's going to be a point load here because there's a fireplace for the header above. So I always put those in before I sheet. But I just get in the habit of drilling anyway. So you see here, there's a hole. It's really easy to see daylight. Sometimes you see a nail and you don't know if it's been put there for a point load or it's just a nail they kind of missed. And anyway, that's where I like to drill it. That and the whole water side of things, where it just keeps the floor nice and dry. So yeah, still gotta come back, put the steel post in, put the put the garage steel post in. But as for everything else, everything is, all the hangers are done down here, all the solid blocking's in. Guys, if you run into a situation where you have a 2x8 sunken and they've sent cross bridging, obviously it's up to you, and you're not going to get paid any extra for putting 10 3/8 blocks, but I find it's a way better product and probably saves time. It's way stronger, and I just think about it. If it was my house, I'd prefer the solid blocking instead of cross bridging and 1x4 underneath. Yeah. So tied in the half wall. Guys, when you're tying in this half wall, don't go cheap on nails, and just think pure strength. And so you see there, the half walls drop down. Make sure it's not below the ceiling, obviously, but just reinforce it well from both sides, kind of lock it in. You can just imagine if 5 years from now, somebody's leaning on the half wall and it just gives, and the basement's totally finished, and what a disaster that would be to fix it. So moving on. Here, garage beam. I know I have a point load to go here, but I don't want to get my ladder at this point. Kind of see it there. There's the girder going across, but yeah, I got those in the wall, the window ones before I put the sheeting on the floor, just because I knew the height of this garage. So I know I got nuts and washers to go. Drywall, fire brick drywall's in. I got a cutout for the steel posts. Those things I can do once they get the post here. But just think drywall, any extra blocking. Make sure all your blocks are nailed, obviously. when I pull down, I go 27, 54, 81 to the center. And just make sure that the all your 14.5 blocks are even a bit set in, but not stuck out. So if you got to hit them in, add a nail, whatever, make sure your poly is nice. All your mid blocks in. Oh, with that said, I think I got one to go there. Check it out. I missed one or two. Guys, here's another thing. When you're left with a situation like this, where it's about an inch, inch and a quarter, whenever it's less than the diameter of the wood, so here's 2x6. So if the block is less than 5.5, go the opposite way. So rip it, whatever it is, say it's inch, go rip it inch by like 5 3/8, 5.5. And that way when you nail it, it never splits. If you try cutting 2x6, say inch and a quarter, and then you go to nail it, I guarantee it's gonna just get smashed and destroyed. It's really not doing anything at that point. So basically, first floor, main floor, do the same thing. Got another knee wall there, so make sure it's all tied in, locked in. Double check your plumbing. You see it marked the center of the toilet there. Just make sure everything's good so you don't get surprise callbacks. So guys, on this site, what they've been asking us to do, so on the TGI layout, it shows blocks, kind of lookout blocks on all the ends, but they're kind of pointless because the HVAC guy is just going to smash them all out. So what we decided to do, well, what I do, I go 2x6 on top, squash block 1.5 inch less, and then on top of the backup, I cut, oh, that would be like 15.5, 2x4s, and I go every 2 feet. So it's really doing the same thing. It's locking in the outside wall, but that way the heating guy, any trade that goes through, they don't have to smash and destroy your blocks, and then they can just go on top of them. So once again, that's what you see. I think that's all there is here. There's another sunken going down here. And then I have my porch. Guys, little quick tip. If you're framing a porch, roof alone, and we always get to that point in the porch where we have to keep it nice and square. So a lot of guys, they call for a stud and they throw a square in the corner, and then one guy nails it, usually to here, on a diagonal, once it's nice and square. And you check the other corners, obviously. But here's a quick and easy way to do it. As you can see, I cut a piece of floor plywood. I just cut it on a 45. It really doesn't matter. But as long as you have those two finished sides, you jam that right up against the corner, and then you nail it once it's nice and square. And what that does also, it gives you a nice place to work up there, right? So it's pretty strong because you got a 2x6 ceiling going across. You got a ceiling going across there, catching that. Now you can put all your blocks and everything, an extra coil or two up there if you need to. So, just something to share. Okay, moving on. We go upstairs. Make sure all my mid blocks are in. The raised wall here. Guys, make sure when you're doing landings, the stringer that goes up, leave this plywood 6 inches longer. See the 2x8 ends there, but the plywood goes farther. That's so when the stringer comes down, stair guy, it'll catch on the corner. If you go flush, it's not gonna catch, and then you're gonna have to come back and Probably put a 2x8 on the flat and plywood. So just something to make everybody's life a little easier. So you see here what I did. All the doors on the first floor are 87, and I made the mistake of making them the same here, and they're going to be 82 and a half. So I had to drop all these today, which wasn't a big deal. And I can even sell it as an upgrade, because now you got extra backing for the trim guy. But keep the ceiling, insulation stop behind there. I might have to put a 2x6 on the flat possibly, if they're hanging a light. But we'll wait and see if they want that or not. So you see here, it's a gable roof, but the trusses go side to side, which is a good and bad thing in terms of building it. So that's basically about it. Guys, whenever you're working with foam also, remember to sheet your front and back walls. It's a union job site, so they pay for that. But your extreme far back wall, always sheet for shear strength, and then put the foam on top of that. But, yeah, you notice the difference definitely when you're on the roof and it's not shaking so much. But also, you kind of have to do it anyway, because where you would never be able to fit a diagonal brace in there. I've seen some guys where they actually put a diagonal brace going right through the window, and then afterwards they cut it off, sawzall it off, which is not really doing anything at that point. Anyways, guys, thought I'd share that with you. Tomorrow I'm going to be back on the floor, hoping to get some walls up tomorrow. And then, if all goes well, a roof. I'm be waiting on 2 roofs. So hopefully I'll have a roof ready to go, and we can film a few neat little roof videos. Okay guys, take care, have a good one, bye for now.